What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and like I said in my last podcast I just did, which is a Tattoo Thursday, which released today, doing Madolches today, and then I'm going to be doing Fluffles tomorrow. If I really like the decks, maybe I'll do some gameplay and some deck profiles, but today I'm going to be looking at a couple of the combos. If you're new to the series, a step-by-step, I take some combos that I found around town, and I'll link those in the description, but like a lot of times I don't have commentary, so I don't understand what any of these cards do. So I introduce the archetype for you. That way, if you play it at locals, you're not going to be looking at every single card and see what it does, and that's like a big advantage in Yu-Gi-Oh, in my opinion. The most important card in the deck, seemingly to me, as I've been kind of doing this, is Madolche Salon. Gives you another normal summon. It's kind of a normal summon reliant deck for sure. In any case, Madolche Mageline, every time it's normal or flip summoned, you can add a Madolche monster from deck to hand, so not a once per turn. And since Salon, like I said, lets you normal summon again, you can use the effect of Mageline once again to get a Pudding Sessor. Pudding Sessor is actually really important. It's a free special summon if you control no monsters in the graveyard, and also one of the XYZ monsters has additional effects if Pudding Sessor is like one of the materials. But the best part about this combo, and like all of them for the most part, is Trap Tricks for Fleesia. So it's anti-Nibiru, because you have the whole card that if any card activated in the hand or graveyard, you can negate. And since you have no monsters, you can special summon the Pudding Sessor. Also, if this card is special summoned, you can special summon one Madolche monster from your hand or deck, except itself. If you do, reduce its level by 1, and now you're locked into Madolche monsters for the rest of the turn, which is not an issue. And from the deck, you're going to go ahead and special summon a Pudding Cess. This card's not as important like its effect. Now you can overlay these two into a Madolche Teacher Glass Souffle. This says it's a quick effect. You can detach one material from this card, then target one Madolche monster on the field. This turn, that monster is unaffected by monster effect except its own. If a Madolche card is sent to the graveyard while this card is on your field, except during the damage step, you can shuffle up to 2 cards from the graveyards into the decks. As you can see, you can fulfill those requirements yourself. But you're going to go ahead and detach the Pudding Sessor, targeting itself. No effect, right? Because you don't want to shuffle your own monsters just quite yet. Now you can go into a rank. You can basically rank up into the Madolche Pudding Cess Chocolal mode, a la mode. You can also XYZ summon like rank 4 Madolche XYZ, as you can see. I could target a Madolche monster in your graveyard, or it's actually any card, shuffle it into the deck. Alright, so you can go ahead and do that. Perfect. And the Madolche Salon here triggers, and chain link to Chocolate mode. So basically, if this has Pudding Cess, which is the one that I said that the effect isn't all that important, but the material is, it lets you special summon a Madolche monster from deck, and this lets you set a Madolche spell and trap when a Madolche card is shuffled from graveyard into the deck. Alright, so you're going to special summon from the deck an Angeli. And you can also set the Madolche ticket. So this card says when a Madolche card is returned from your side of the field or graveyard to your hand or main deck by card effect, you can add one Madolche monster from your deck to your hand. And if you control a face-up fairy type Madolche monster, you can special summon the monster from your deck and face-up attack position instead. A fairy. Now you can activate the ticket. And you don't have to use the effect just quite yet, obviously. Conditions aren't met. But Madolche Angeli says you can tribute this card and special summon a Madolche monster from deck. It can't be destroyed by battle, and then it's not important the other effects, like it's shuffling itself back after like 2 turns, because you're going to be using the card like immediately to XYZ summon. Next, you're going to special summon that Hoot Cake, and this card can target a monster in your graveyard, banish it, and if you do, special summon a Madolche monster from deck. So like all of them seem to do that, right? But you can go ahead and banish the Glass Souffle and special summon the Messengelato. This card says when it's special summoned, you can add a Madolche spell and trap from deck to hand. So what you can do is add like kind of a good piece of disruption, the trap card. you can set it to the field. But target one face-up card your opponent controls and one Madolche monster you control or is in your graveyard. Negate the effects of that opponent's card until the end of this turn. It's great because it's a face-up card too, right? So it could just be basically anything. But now you can convert the Messenger Lotto and the Hoot Cake into the Madolche Fresh Sistart. When this card points to a Madolche monster, which it does right now, your Madolche spells and traps cannot be destroyed by card effects. Also, neither player can target them with card effects. Very nice, right? Then you can activate the field spell, Madolche Chateau. You shuffle all Madolche monsters in your graveyard into the deck, which is important because a lot of, you don't want to have monsters in your graveyard. It's kind of like the whole archetype thing, which is what you're going to do here. And of course, that triggers the ticket because now something was returned to the field or graveyard. And then also, once again, this is not Chocolate a la mode is not a once per turn as well, so you can detach to special summon another Messenger Lotto from the deck. And special summon another Messenger Lotto from the deck. They don't actually have their effects as the condition's not met, but it's just another rank 4, which can go into another Glass Souffle. So what you got is pretty much an Omni Negate for the most part, and Trap Omni Negates, in my opinion, are the best. And you can, anything activated in the hand or graveyard you can negate, as well as shuffling anything into the graveyard. So this is more of a going second deck, but I think this is an interesting going first board. So that's why I showed that for combo number 1. And combo number 2 here, again, it kind of is going to start with the Salon and the Madolche. And Madolche, add Madolche, normal summon Madolche once again to use this effect to get another copy of Pudding Sessor. Now you can overlay these into Rafflesia again. It's going to look very similar, but it's going to tail off at the end here, and you'll see where I take it. Since you have no monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon the Pudding Sessor, and you can also special summon a Madolche from deck. And from the deck, you're going to go ahead and special summon the Pudding Sess. That way you can keep using that effect, right? Now you can go into a Glass Souffle, activate the effect to detach the Pudding Sessor, targeting the Glass Souffle itself. Now you can overlay that into a Chocolate a la mode. Chocolate a la mode effect to shuffle back into the deck, triggering the Salon, triggering the a la mode itself, detaching the Glass Souffle to special summon from the deck Hoot Cake. And you can also set your first Madolche Promenade, the one that targets a face-up card your opponent controls and one Madolche monster to negate the effects. Hoot Cake to banish the Glass Souffle from the graveyard to special summon a Messenger Lotto. Messenger Lotto's effect, since it's a special summon to add another Promenade. So you can only use one Promenade per turn, but I think it's a good card to have. And also, it's interesting, this combo, and what you'll see if you click on that video in the description, extends if your opponent tries to disrupt you, which is nuts because right now you don't have anything in your graveyard, so really you don't have any extenders to move forward. I convert these two into a fresh start, so you do have anything, you can negate anything that activates in the hand or graveyard, and then you have kind of the vital negate that face up on the field, so you kind of cover all your tracks, but this is where it stops unless your opponent kind of stops you, right? Which is pretty neat. So that is combo number 2. But yeah, that's going to do it for Madolches. I think that was just a very, very basic introduction to the archetype, but hopefully you understand the cards a little more, and when you play them, you'll know when the disruption is best. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.